Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for every purchase, whether you're grabbing a pint on draft, a case for a party, or a tall boy at the stadium. Any size, any product, anywhere you buy Labatt. Buy beer, get gear. Sign up now at rewards.labattusa.com.
Burdick Lexus and Burdick BMW postgame show.
Syracuse off to a 1-0 start with an 85-47 win in the Dome to kick off the 2025-2026 season. Binghamton comes into the Dome and Syracuse absolutely dominates. I think this is exactly what you were looking for to start the 2025-2026 campaign. If you're a Syracuse fan, getting things going in year number 3 of the Red Autry era. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, whether you're tuned in on CuseSportsTalk.com or if you're listening on the radio on your drive home from the Dome on 97.7, 100.1 ESPN Syracuse. So thrilled to be talking about another Cuse basketball W, and for the first time this season. Phone number to call. Chime in with your thoughts. Break down the game with us. It's 315-437-7644. Giovanni Heater with you for the next hour, talking all things Cuse Hoops. We're going to have Red Autry's live post-game press conference right here on the program as well. So be sure to stick around for that. And the Cuse 1-0 in 2025-2026. So many good things to unpack here. First and foremost, I want to start with the defensive side of the basketball for Syracuse. It was the biggest problem last year. Had talked about it in the pregame, had talked about it ad nauseum leading into the season here on Cuse Sports Talk at ESPN Syracuse, that Syracuse had to improve defensively if it wanted to succeed this season. And I know it's one game, but oh man, did they ever. Syracuse holds Binghamton to just 47 points in this contest, holds them to 33% from the floor, holds them to 13 of 17 from the stripe, and forces 22 turnovers. Last year, Syracuse really struggled to take the basketball away. Syracuse was 329th in the country in forced turnovers a season ago. And tonight against Binghamton, they forced 22 while only coughing up the basketball 5 times. Assist to turnover ratio last year for Syracuse was not in a good spot. Syracuse last year in assist to turnover ratio was coughing it up quite a bit. Good for 223rd in the country. Turnover margin was 336th in the country. And this is a really good way to start and flip that script. If you're Syracuse, was super, super impressed with what they were able to do on the defensive side here tonight against Binghamton. Bearcats go out there 15 of 45 from the floor, 1 of 13 from beyond the arc. Big time stuff defensively for Syracuse. On the offensive side, got off to that hot start we were talking about. Mentioned that we wanted to see this team go on a run early, get up early, create a lead early. And they were able to do just that. Got up 10-0 before the under 16 media timeout. And Binghamton hadn't scored a bucket, and Syracuse was rolling. Now, it wasn't the most unbelievable offensive night from Syracuse here. Certainly still some wrinkles to work out, particularly shooting the ball from beyond the arc. Syracuse in this game ends up going just 4 of 21 from three-point land, but it's in a game where it didn't matter all that much. Scored a ton of points in the paint, got out and ran, which we wanted to see them do. Fast break points tonight for the Cuse. 21 of Syracuse's 85 points came on the fast break. Again, echoing some of the numbers from last year. And it wasn't just a problem in ACC play. It was a problem in the non-conference against some of Syracuse's weaker non-conference opponents. Transition offense last year. 243rd in the country in fast break points. Not the case tonight. Syracuse with 21 points off the fast break. 54 of Syracuse's 85 points came in the painted area. And 31 points came off the bench as well. Felt really good about Syracuse with the mid-range game. Some really nice mid-range jumpers that you saw knocked down by a handful of guys, predominantly Kiyan Anthony, looking a lot like his pops with that mid-range J. And he wasn't the only one, right? Donnie Freeman had one or two. Fennell had a bucket or two in the mid-range game. Kings, I believe, had one or two. This team can shoot. Want to see him start knocking them down from beyond the arc, but inside the painted area, no doubt, and that mid-range jumper was hitting tonight. Cuse had 5 scores in double figures offensively. That's always a good sign. Having 5 scores in double figures, 5 guys that can step up and tally them up. Donnie Freeman led the way tonight for the Cuse, had 20 points, went 7 of 11 from the floor. Biggest number for Donnie Freeman, though, 6 of 8 from the free throw line. Felt like last year that was a number that he was not putting up. And he goes 6 of 8 from the stripe here tonight. That was huge to see out of Donnie Freeman. Had 6 rebounds on top of it as well. 14 points out of Nathan George. 6 of 9 from the floor. Goes 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. He hit 2 of Syracuse's 4 3-balls. So that was good to see out of Nathan George. The Georgia Tech transfer also finished with a team-high 8 assists. Second closest was Kiyan Anthony with 3. So he was really facilitating nicely offensively. Huge, huge props to William Kyle III. This guy can jump out of the gym. Unbelievable athleticism by the big man. And he plays taller than he is, right? I think he's listed 6'9", I want to say. But he plays so much bigger than that with his vertical. He can jump. I mean, he was headband above the rim all night long. They were throwing up lobs to him left and right. Super impressed with William Kyle. He goes 8 of 9 from the floor because every ball he got was right at the rim. He was awesome. Fun player to watch. 5 rebounds in the contest as well. Had an assist, played 24 big minutes for the Cuse. But man, 16 points on 8 of 9 from the floor. All of his points coming in the paint. He's a beast. I'm really excited to see what William Kyle brings to the table all season long. Phone lines are open. 315-437-7644 is the number to call if you want to chime in and talk Syracuse basketball's 85-47 win over Binghamton. Tyler Betsy. How about Tyler Betsy with 10 points tonight? Goes 3 of 10 from the floor, 1 of 7 from beyond the arc, but had 10 points in the contest. Ended up going 3 of 4 from the stripe, earning some chances at the line. Ends up in double figures. He's that 5th Orangeman in double figures. And then the kid, Kiyan Anthony. 6 of 10 from the floor, 15 points, 1 of 3 from beyond the arc. So he really wasn't forcing it from three-point land. 2 of 4 from the stripe, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, did a little bit of everything. Played 28 huge minutes for the Cuse. The big story, the big takeaway from this one, though, outside of the defense being great, the offense doing their thing besides shooting the 3-ball. Biggest storyline is J.J. Starling goes out in the first couple of minutes of the game, does not return. Injured, appeared to be a lower body injury. Went to the locker room, came back out, sat on the bench, had a towel over his head, had his warm-up pants on. Really can't jump to any conclusions on anything. Seemed to be lower body. Felt hamstring-like to me, just watching his body language. I'm no doctor. You hope that JJ's all good to go. You hope that this is just, hey, we're going to sit him out today. You really don't need him. We'll get him back next game. Maybe he sits out a game or two, and you get him before Vegas. Whatever it is. You hope this isn't a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal. I really don't. It didn't feel that way, especially the way he was on the bench, still involved. I mean, they're going to put you – first of all, he's not in a boot, but this is just a situation where it's like I always say as a phrase, right? They're going to put you in a boot if you have a hangnail, right? He's not in a boot, just being very clear about that. He's not in a boot, but like they're going to be as precautious as possible when playing a team like Binghamton, and it's the season opener. And if you don't have to play him, there's no need to play him. So I'd like to fare on the side that JJ is going to be all right. And it was honestly huge for Cayenne to step up and drop 15, play 28 minutes, go 6 of 10 from the floor. Like, he looks good. He can score. He's a 3-level scorer. He might be the best 3-level scorer on the team besides JJ. I'd say Nathan George is probably in that conversation. Big experience for Cayenne tonight, playing with the rest of the starters, essentially, and just filling JJ's spot. That mid-range game, his ability to attack the 10, let it rip from 3, the confidence to let it rip from 3, but not do too much, right? He's just 1 of 3. Didn't have to shoot a lot of 3 balls tonight. I was super impressed with Cayenne Anthony and his ability to facilitate a little bit. We got Red Autry live, post-game coverage right here on Cuse Sports Talk at ESPN Syracuse. Let's go to Red.
Exemplified, our summer, what our summer looked like as far as defending and playing with energy, sharing the basketball, and just, playing for 40 minutes. And I thought our team did that tonight. Everyone that came in the game, they gassed out. They gave a tremendous effort. And it was fun for me to watch those guys compete like that. And so that's what we worked on, and that's how we will continue to build on that. But I was really excited for this group, excited to watch these guys compete, and it was fun watching these guys compete tonight.
Coach, first off, how's JJ doing? And then what does it say about you to go out and dominate even without?
JJ will be fine. The lower leg injury, I guess, but I'm sure he'll be fine. This team, you talk about depth, and I believe this team really does have depth. Anyone that can come in the court can contribute and make an impact. So, when JJ went down, we just, went to the next man up. You hear that a lot, but that's what this team can do. As far as we missed one guy. We've had that in the summertime as well. The practices have stayed, the competitiveness has stayed. So, it's a good thing to have. The roster that we have.
Coach Nate George, 8 assists, 5 steals. Is this kind of like the division when you saw his name come in the portal?
Yeah, I thought he did a really good job of, getting people the ball, making passes. He finally calmed down and, on offense, made a couple of shots. But when you have a point guard like him, you can give him the ball and let him, run the offense, and I thought he did a really good job of that. And stayed with it. In the first half was a little choppy. I thought the second half he kind of found the rhythm of the game and started making the right plays.
Cayenne got a lot more time on the court tonight. What are your thoughts on this?
I thought Cayenne played really extremely well. It was, I thought, especially on the defensive end, I thought he gave a lot of energy. I thought he moved. I thought he made the right rotations. So I was extremely proud of him tonight on that end. And then, I thought he gelled with the other group of guys when he was out there. But I was very pleased with Cayenne the way he, played on both sides of the ball tonight.
Coach, didn't see Donnie bringing him back on the court, just so you can say how his play has been returned?
Donnie, to me, has come back, and he's so much better, so much stronger. He does a really good job of putting pressure on the rim, and he hasn't shot it well yet, but he has the ability to make those shots. To me, he's going to be one of the, best young players in the country this year.
Coach, the scoring efficiency jumped crazy in the second half from 38% to 60%. What did you see as the biggest difference in your team's offensive sets from the first half to the second half?
Well, I thought we got a chance in the second half to get some turnovers and get some easy transition points. And then, they played some zones, so I thought we made the right reads, and, we started attacking the basket. We stopped shooting from the outside so much and started really attacking the basket in the second half.
David, you had 15 first half turnovers today. want it early in the game, just making an impression and moving guard down today?
It was just about playing our game. It wasn't about making an impression. We want to play for 40 minutes. We want to try to, really make people work. That's the idea, make people work with speed. We want, along with athletic, we can switch. So that was kind of the idea. It wasn't really a game plan to say, we can make them turn it over, but they turned it over. But, I thought we made some good traps from a man-to-man, which, we've been working on that and not as much, but they made a couple of good reads today. We're aggressive. We just want to be aggressive and disruptive. That's the only thing that we want to do.
Talked a lot of confidence a couple years about how you want to play fast. You feel tonight was kind of the best exemplification of that we've seen so far with you?
I think we've had some other teams that have had, some good runs, but yeah, I thought the second half when, the game kind of got up and down a little bit, but we made some stops. The reason why it got up and down is because we made some stops, and that's what we want to do. We don't want to, let them score. We want to get some stops to ignite our offense. So tonight was close to it. We still got some more work to do. It was close to it.
Hey, Coach, with all the good tonight, 4 for 21 and shooting about 28% against the games. What's your level of confidence in your point shooting?
Not a lot. The way we're going to win is not how many threes we want to make. Like, that's not what this team is about. That's not what we're about. All right? We take good shots on offense, and that's it. We won't let our offense dictate if we win or not. That's not going to happen this year.
Remind you what you saw in the summer. What did you see in the summer that really encouraged you about what you want to see throughout the season?
Just a group of guys. It was so competitive. It was times where, these guys just compete and get after it. It was, we played a lot, but the competitive and the physicality and the gym was at a high level. It was just always at a high level. And even in September, when people started kind of coming in, those were some of the comments. Was it, beautiful basketball at times? No, but it was competitive. It was intense. And we'll continue to do that.
Such a big difference from last week pace to tonight.
I don't know. I thought, again, I don't know. I was just worried about tonight and trying to get these guys ready and and prepared. I couldn't answer that.
Coach, what do you say about President William Powell tonight for
Will is an exceptional defender, athlete, but he has a little bit more to his game than people give him credit to. He's a really good passer. He can go off the bounce a little bit more. So again, he did what I thought he could do. So I don't know what everyone else's impressions was, but he was a little undersized, but he plays bigger than his size. How about that?
Players like Hyde and on the bench, Coach Autry, for you guys, how important is it to kind of develop that grip, especially to just be fun? You have players who come in.
It's huge. It's huge to be able to, people always talk about depth, right? But it's huge to be able to have guys that can come in off the bench and be a double-digit scorer and contribute. So where they can pick up from someone else, right? That's kind of the ideal, right, for every team. When someone else is not doing well, you have enough people that can come in and impact the game. But it's huge to be able to have guys that can come off the bench and give you some scoring punch.
The team looked extremely energetic today. What would you say that's the problem?
The work we've been doing since we got here. From the first day we got here. That's what I would give the credit to. That's how we practice. That's how we play every day.
Coach, you guys picked it up tonight when JJ was out. How do anything changes when you're starting on the court for that?
What
if anything changes when JJ's not?
What if anything changes? Again, you're talking about JJ, who's an all-conference, second team guy that, can get downhill, that can defend. Obviously we played well after that, but he's a big part of what we plan on doing, and he probably would have helped out a little bit more because he was just starting to get going and getting into the lane. So, in transition, we get him the ball in transition. He's a guy that can get it up the court and make decisions, especially if we can get some steals. So he's a big part of what we do.
Coach, what do you say about Philadelphia and the bigger Cats and all the going with their season? What did you see from them or what was that for this season?
I thought they were tough. I know they were, a little undermanned. I know they had some injuries. But I told them after the game, I like this team. I think they tough. They kept playing. They didn't look scared. I think he's going to have a really good year this year. They're a tough team. They kind of exemplify his personality and what he expects. So, I think they're going to be really good. The big guys really good. The guards, they didn't have their best day today, but I'm sure that they will. But I like their toughness. I like the way they played. I like their composure.
For one more,
I think Jake is going to be fine. And what the trainers told you was a good sign that he was back on the bench.
It was a good sign. Yeah, it was a good sign for him to come back out. So, I'll know a little bit more, but if it was something serious, I would probably know by now.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, that is Red Autry, head men's basketball coach for the Syracuse Orange after the 85-47 win over Binghamton to open up the season. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, plenty more to unpack between the Orange and the Bearcats. That's next on Cuse Sports Talk and ESPN Syracuse.
Burdick Toyota, Burdick Lexus, and Burdick.
Chat, how we doing? Mike in the house? Let's go. Love having Mike. Got to put something out on the Instagram real quick. Chat, how are we feeling? That was awesome. I thought they played awesome. I was pretty optimistic. The only thing I would like to see is them knock down more threes, and I think that's going to come. Yeah, just like some of you guys are saying, the threes are going to come. Mike McAllister in the chat hanging out. We love Mike. I think JJ's going to be fine. Seemed like a hamstring. Sometimes those things nag a little bit, but I think he's going to be all right. As long as you get him before Vegas. I mean, it'd be nice to have him for some tune-ups, but they're showing they can beat up on people without him. I mean, Kyan's really good. He's going to force Red's hand to play him more. Yeah, I agree. Florida Brad. Kyle was sensational. Kid jumps out of the gym. We got the phone lines going. Rob in Connecticut on hold. Let's go. Yeah, we need Pat to call in. Sorry, that was gross.
Galaxy Media Partners, ESPN 97.7 and 100.1. This is the Burdick Lexus and Burdick BMW postgame show.
What a start to the 2025-2026 campaign for Syracuse men's basketball. 85-47, the final score inside the Dome as the Orange take down the Binghamton Bearcats. And I'll tell you what, this game really eases the minds of the fan base, I think. This game had everything that you wanted to see if you're a Syracuse basketball fan. It had really good defense. It had flashes of brilliant scoring. It had fast-paced transition offense. It had dunks. It had athleticism on full display. The only thing you would have liked to see is a couple more three balls go in, and that's something that I think is night to night going to come with time. Phone lines are open, 315-437-7644. Let's go to the phone lines right now. We got Rob in Connecticut on the line. And we welcome him in. Rob, how you doing? Oh, I lost Rob. I totally lost Rob. Hopefully Rob calls back. That's all right. Hopefully Rob calls us back, and then we'll get him on. But for now, we'll break down some more of Syracuse's win here. 85-47, the final score. We lost Rob. So Rob, if you're listening, please call us back, and we'll get you on right away. That's Rob in Connecticut, if you're still tuning in. 5 scorers in double figures tonight. Donnie Freeman leads the way with 20 points, goes 7-11 from the floor. 6 of 8 from the charity stripe was what stood out the most to me. On the defensive side, Syracuse holds them to 1 of 13 from beyond the arc, 15 of 45 from the floor. Good for 33%. Some of the biggest notes, though, to take after in this one. The fast start, the 10-0 run into the under 16. Syracuse had a handful of those transition buckets that really stood out. And we got Rob in Connecticut now on the line. We go to Rob. Rob, how are you? Sorry about the miscue.
Oh, no, that's quite all right. Thank you for taking my call so promptly once again. So, believe it or not, I couldn't really watch the game because, my cable package stinks, but I could listen to a lot of it. I wanted to talk about that J.J. Starling issue, though. Did it look like one of those soft tissue injuries that are because we've had a lot of issues in the league this year. Do you think he's going to come back?
Yeah, Rob, I didn't think it was anything to be super, super worried about, to be honest with you. Looked like, I'm not a doctor, looked like hamstring to me because he was quite literally holding his hamstring. Now, he seemed to be in a bit of discomfort, but with that being said, he remained on the bench for the game. And in situations like this, they're going to be so precautionary. There's no need. They're playing Binghamton, so. Right.
In the beginning of the season, hey, look, if it's going to happen, you want it to happen now. You know what I mean? So I guess that's a good thing. So I wanted your opinion. You remember a few years ago, we couldn't rebound. We played what was it, Oklahoma State. It was early in the year. We got our butts kicked. I think it was 2018, down in Madison Square Garden. So if you compare a team like that to this year's team, I saw some of the exhibitions. Do you see that our team is going to be a lot more physical? That, we're not going to get out-rebounded by some of those teams that have dominated us in the past?
Yeah.
And, yeah. And by the way, do you work with Steven Infante?
I do. Well, Steve works with us here at Galaxy. Yeah, he's got Orange Nation, so I cross over with Steve from time to time for sure.
Oh yeah, I was in grade school with him, so I was gonna. All right, that's cool, good stuff. Small world.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's yeah. I don't want to get out physicaled. You know what I mean? Because that's what Syracuse, when we can't rebound, we can't. That's when we really get our butts kicked on the boards.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you checking in, Rob. I think this is a team, when you look at the rebounds, it's tough to tell against a team like Binghamton, right? Because you should be bigger, faster, stronger, taller, all of the above. They out-rebound Binghamton to this one 38-29. I do like Syracuse's chances to rebound. And actually, they weren't a terrible rebounding team last year. That was one of Eddie Lampkin's strengths. Their numbers rebounding were not maybe as bad as you'd think. I do think this is a team that has the ability to rebound well because of how athletic and long they truly are. They're long at pretty much every position, including the guards. And then you got the athleticism of a guy like William Kyle, who clearly, as we saw, can jump out of the gym. And that's not just going up for alley-oops, right? So I think this team's got the athletic build, and this roster is going to be able to rebound the basketball. And you won the rebound battle by, 9 here in the season opener against Binghamton. Phone lines are open. 315-437-7644 is the number to call. And with that, we go back to the phone lines. We got Jake in Syracuse. Jake, how we doing?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I've been saying all week, we need to win this game by 25 points. Anything less than 25 would have been a loss, the way the selection committee works these days. I'm glad we learned our lesson from the pace game. We never took our foot off the pedal, kept, playing pressure defense, blew them out. I don't know what the final score was. So I'm very, very pleased about that. But as a Syracuse fan, I have to complain about something. It's not the three-point shooting. It's the fact of the matter is, you still got Donnie Freeman. You still got starters out there with a minute to go in a 30-some-odd point blowout, especially after JJ got hurt. That doesn't seem like the smartest coaching decision. I had to complain about something. Thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate you there, Jake. Yeah, I guess if you were watching the Washington Commanders game last night and Jaden Daniels is out there in garbage time and dislocates his elbow and is out for the season now. So, no, it's hard. There's proof in the pudding to that maybe there's times in games to take your key players out, your star players out. Everyone was actually in late. There was a chant going on throughout the Dome to bring in the walk-ons and the one walk-on, actually. And they didn't end up doing it. But so someone has to stay in the game. I get it. I don't have serious gripe with Donnie being in the game. I understand, though, the couple of guys you want to protect would be probably Donnie, maybe JJ. I guess Cayenne comes off the bench, so it'd be hard to say somebody like him. At this point, probably Nathan George and maybe William Kyle. Those guys probably shouldn't be in the game at that point. So I hear you. Cuse fans having to complain about something is crazy. This is a nice win, but no, the 85-47, like I said, I thought coming into it to feel good, you had to win by 20 or more, 30 or more would have been really nice, and that's exactly what happened. They won by almost 40 points. They won by 38 points, so you feel really good. And they finished strong. They made 5 of their last 6 field goals. So to your point, kept their foot on the gas the entire time. We'll take one more call before we head to a break. We got Aaron in Arizona. Aaron, how we doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
Good. Thanks for chiming in.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to say thank the Lord we finally got a point guard. We finally got a Syracuse power forward that looks like a Syracuse power forward. We got an undersized but athletic monster in the middle, and a lot of nice pieces around it. I really like this team. What I'm seeing.
I'm with you, Aaron. This is a team that, and I know it's one game, they really do look the part, don't they? Like at every position, they look the part.
I think they got depth. I think Autry overuses the depth. I think he needs to whittle it down. So Cayenne looks phenomenal. I'm shocked how good he looks. What else? Betsy's the resident chucker now. He's the new chucker. He ain't never seen a shot he don't like. But some of those will drop. I like this team. Donnie looks good. I'm telling you, Donnie's having a monster year this year. Reminds me a little bit of the old John Wallace body, you know?
Okay. Yeah. He's long.
Long.
That's not a bad comparison. Anyway, that'd be a good. If he plays like John Wallace, we're going to be in good shape.
That's what we used to get. We used to get the DCs and the J-Dubs and all that, and I like him this year.
Aaron, I got to ask you, you're from Arizona. Where's the accent stem from?
Auburn, Alabama.
How about that? Auburn, Alabama.
Originally.
There you go. So how are you a Syracuse fan?
My daddy went there. Class of 67, shout out.
There we go. Class of 67 shout out. Love it.
Yes, sir. Cuse is in the house. Thank God we back to having a heartbeat and a pulse. And I think this could be exciting year. Let's get JJ on the mend. Let's stay healthy. I really, did I mention, I like Cayenne, man.
Oh, he's good. He looks better than I thought he was going to look. I wasn't sure what to expect. And I thought, the expectations are probably going to be lofty and maybe unfair because of who his pops is. But he's fitting the bill. And to come in 28 minutes and drop 15 and be super efficient in doing it, 6 of 10 from the floor, not forcing it, just 1 of 3 from beyond the arc because he didn't necessarily take that many and didn't need to. I was super impressed with him, Aaron.
He's savvy. I mean, he's got a way about his game that is advanced. He ain't going to be his daddy ever, but he's very good. He's good. I think he's going to play over. I don't know, but in my opinion, he probably gets time over Kings down the line.
Honestly, that's not a bad take. That's not. I like I was saying earlier in the show. I do feel like he's going to force Red's hand for time on the floor because how do you keep a guy like that off the floor?
That's your best 5.
Yeah.
George, JJ, Cayenne, Donnie, and Kyle.
I like it. I like it a lot. It's going to be an exciting season.
I think so, too. I like it. I mean, the night and day, I had a buddy tell me this game would have been in overtime last year. I think he was right.
I think he was right, too. Hey, Aaron, call in anytime, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. Let's go Orange, baby.
Let's go Orange. All the way out from Arizona, we got Aaron, originally from Auburn, Alabama. How about that? Cuse is in the house. Cuse is national, worldwide even. And they come away with a big 85-47 win over Binghamton. Everyone's saying in the chat, caller of the year candidate. I couldn't agree more. Like I said, Aaron, please call in anytime. Always welcome. Phone lines are open, 315-437-7644. You can be the next caller after the break. We'll step aside, continue to break down Syracuse's season-opening win over Binghamton. After this, you're listening to Q Sports Talk and ESPN Syracuse.
This is Nation.
Joe Filardi does not give them the best chance to win. Like, that's fine if you want to.
What's up, guys? The accent was great. Keep the calls coming. Got to check out the YouTube chat. Uh-oh, Auburn on upset watch. Is that what I'm seeing in the chat? Let's see. How's it going in the YouTube chat? What's going on, guys? Appreciate everybody hanging out. Yeah, I think the fast break, Zach, in the YouTube chat, that's going to be a big part of their game. I think it's really going to be a big part of their game. If they can get out and run, that's going to be big. It's a difference maker. I mean, again, 21 fast break points out of their 85 points tonight. You like that. You like to see it. Mike asking, Gio, how pumped were you yesterday? I was stoked about the Bills win over the Chiefs. I will say though, I mean, I've lived this movie before. Like, as nice as it is, positions them well again for the 1 seed, especially with Indianapolis losing. I know they're still trailing in the division to the Patriots, but like, so much football left to be played, they can still snag the 1. And you'd like the playoffs to have to run through Buffalo, but I mean, Josh has won the last 5 straight against Mahomes in the regular season, and he's 0-4 against the guy in the playoffs. So it's like, as much as I love beating him in the regular season and beating him anytime, I just like watching the Chiefs lose at this point. Until you see it in the playoffs, it's like, it feels like it doesn't even matter in the regular season. Yeah, Bills in New England a couple weeks, going to be big. I don't think Josh is losing that game. I'll tell you what, though. The Bills, built a team to beat the Chiefs, and that was very evident because the Chiefs can't run the ball very well, and that's kind of the one thing where people are sneaking up on the Bills and beating them is when they can run the ball on them, and it doesn't happen. Yesterday, the Bills looked like a team that was literally built to beat the Chiefs, which is Brandon Beane, the GM, has said that's what they were doing. Listen, Mike's got me talking Bills football on a Cuse basketball show. You see what you did, Mike? Cardinals are doing that without Kyler, too, aren't they? No Kyler Murray. Did I see that? Oh, Murray is in there. Oh, no, he's not. That's not Murray. Who's playing quarterback for him? Brissett, Jacoby Brissett. NC State Wolfpack great. That man's been in the NFL for a minute. Like 10 years. Coming back.
And 100.1.
This is the Burdick Lexus and Burdick BMW postgame show.
Welcome back on ESPN Syracuse and CuseSportsTalk.com. 85-47 the final score in the Dome as Syracuse takes down Binghamton to open up the 2025-2026 men's basketball season. Giovanni Heater with you, hanging out on our Burdick postgame coverage right here live in downtown Syracuse at the Cuse Sports Talk studios. Syracuse looked so good tonight. They really did. You saw everything that you wanted to see coming into the season. You saw fast-paced offense with good scoring. You saw tough, relentless defense. You saw rebounding. You saw a super athletic team that was flying up and down the floor. You saw 5 scorers in double figures. You saw the usual suspects do what you wanted to see them do. Listen to me, usual suspects. Donnie Freeman didn't even play half of last season, but he feels like a usual suspect, one of just 2 returners on this team. But the other returner, that's where we go with our Krause Hospital injury report. It's your injury report brought to you by none other than Krause Hospital. Take me to Krause. Syracuse loses J.J. Starling early on in this game. He goes down with a lower body injury. I don't feel as though it was all that serious. And again, they're going to be incredibly precautionary. You'd love to get him back by Vegas. You'd love to get him back next game. And I don't think that's in any way out of the cards, out of the conversation. But again, J.J. Starling is the big missing piece here if you're Syracuse. Remember, though, also with our Krause Hospital injury report, coming into the game, Luke Fennell did not play the last game against Pace in the Dome, the exhibition. He did practice yesterday, and then again, he played tonight for Syracuse. He played quite a bit, actually. Fennell went out there for the Orange, ended up tallying up 15 minutes. Scored 2 points, went 1 of 2 from the floor, but he did play 15 of the 40 minutes tonight. So Fennell seems to be all right. And then Sadiq White, again, he didn't play against Buffalo. Then he looked really strong against Pace. And then Sadiq White, who's an athletic freak, by the way, he scored 4 points tonight, but he played 19 minutes. Had one really nice dunk on a feed from Kyan Anthony, I believe. So Sadiq White seems to be all right. So now JJ's the one that we're worried about. JJ in a cast in the offseason, unrelated. The cast came off, was good to go. Seemed like he had something done on an injury from last year, and now a lower body injury. So hopefully just an owie, and you get JJ back sooner rather than later. We'll have updates for you as soon as possible. No real updates from Red Autry himself in the postgame press conference. Phone number to call is 315-437-7644 if you'd like to chime in with your thoughts and discuss Syracuse's 85-47 win over Binghamton. But I do think it's a good time, however, to go ahead and give our stars of the game and our play of the game in Syracuse's win. I think the star of the game, and I know how impressive Donnie was with the 20 points and going 7 of 11 from the floor, 6 of 8 from the stripe, 6 rebounds. That's awesome. And he only played 25 minutes, by the way. Probably going to play more than that when the rotation is really finalized and you get to some of these bigger games. I think the star of the game has to be Kyan Anthony. Third on the team in scoring. William Kyle, I mean, dude, you could go 3 different guys for stars of the game. William Kyle was second on the team in scoring with 16 points, 8 of 9 from the floor, was catching every lob in the Dome and just stuffing it through. Crazy athleticism, had 5 rebounds as well in his 24 minutes. But I think you have to go Kyan because of the role that he played. This is a true freshman with the pressure of the world on his shoulders right now. His dad is Carmelo Anthony. That is a Naismith Basketball Hall of Famer. That is royalty in Syracuse, New York. That's a national champion, probably the greatest freshman to ever walk the face of the earth and play college basketball. Argue with anybody on that. Argue with a wall. And again, an NBA veteran who's a multi-time Olympic gold medalist. I mean, you know the accolades. I don't need to list them all. And this is his son coming to play at Syracuse with all these expectations and 4-star recruit and this, and that. And JJ goes out, who's your star player, your big returner. Him and Donnie are the only two. And you hoop. 15 points in 28 minutes, 6 of 10 from the floor, facilitated nicely at times with 3 assists. Like, he just did a little bit of everything and looked really, really confident and poised doing it. Like, there's a reason why him, even though he was the 3rd leading scorer, why they interviewed him on the TV broadcast immediately following the game. And he's going to get a lot of that. And he just seems ready for it. He doesn't come off as a kid. He doesn't come off as unprepared for the moments. And I know it's Binghamton, but it has to start somewhere, right? And it just feels like it's only up from here with Kyan Anthony. Was super impressed with him. He's the star of the game tonight, in my opinion. Play of the game, probably Nate George on the steal, taking it coast to coast on the layup, honestly, because it just felt like the epitome of like, oh, wow. This was early. This was first half. And I know it wasn't one of the big lobs and the dunks. It wasn't. But it was the first time to me I had my eyes open to, wow, this team's going to run. And Nate George, I think, is the catalyst in that. Sure, all these guys are athletic. All these guys can run. But I think it starts with Nate George. He's the starting point guard. He's engineering the offense. He gets the steal, takes it away along the baseline, and runs the floor with it coast to coast, takes it to the rack, and lays it up and in. And he's a scorer. And Devendorf was talking about on the broadcast, like, when he's got his eyes up and is looking to score first, that's when he's really lethal, because all of a sudden he's looking to score and it opens everything up for everybody else. It starts with Nathan George. And when he got that steal, took it coast to coast and laid it up, that's when I was like, wow, this team's going to be able to run. And we didn't see that not only last year, but for the last handful of years. I would say the entire drought, you haven't seen this team be able to run. That's 4 years without making the NCAA tournament, trying to snap that streak this season. Nate George is going to be a big reason as to why I think they'll be successful in doing so. And that play was a big highlight. So I think that's what we're looking at for our stars and plays of the game. When we come back, we'll have our Improving the Team segment. We'll take a look at the ACC scoreboard, and we'll wrap things up. Syracuse with a nice 85-47 win over Binghamton. Last chance to call in. I see the phone lines are ringing right now, so we'll take a break. We'll take your calls when we return. 315-437-7644. The number to call. You're listening to Cuse Sports Talk and ESPN Syracuse.
This is Orange Nation.
Joe Filardi does not give them the best chance to win.
Poor Paul. 2 callers at once. See what we got in the chat. Anything new? Oh, thank you so much, Syracuse. Really appreciate it. Means a lot. Thank you. Very nice of you to say. Thank you. Yeah, Govendo, I don't think Binghamton was great, but I think Cuse played really nice. Yo, we got Dave in Syracuse on the line. We got Aaron in Arizona on the line again. Called in a second time. Love it. This is going to be a fun hoop season. I can taste it. I can feel it. It's going to be great. Vegas is going to be sweet. Houston, Kansas. Big opportunities. Tennessee in the Dome. Got to win a couple of those big ones. I mean, that'd get you ranked. If you're ranked going into ACC play, Cuse basketball's back. I like it, Cuse Sports Insider. John Cuse. Appreciate the kind words. Yeah, it was a big win. Big win. Do you think Binghamton looked lazy out there in the YouTube chat? No, I don't think Binghamton looked lazy. I mean, they're going to play hard. I'm sure it's a little tough to play hard when you're down 30. But regardless, less about Binghamton, more about Syracuse tonight. I mean, Syracuse should have won this like this, right? Like, if it's the team that everyone's hoping it's going to be, they should do this. This is what they used to do regularly back in the day. It just feels like it's been a minute since we've seen it. So weird. They actually don't play Colgate or Cornell this year. Very weird. That's like the litmus test. Can they blow out Colgate and Cornell? And they don't play them this year.
.7 FM Syracuse
and 100.1 FM Oswego. This is the Burdick Lexus and Burdick BMW postgame show.
Final segment of our postgame coverage, wrapping up Syracuse's 85-47 win over Binghamton in the Dome. Tacked on 2 free points there. Syracuse, though, really impressive in the season opener to open up the 2025-2026 campaign. Cuse fans feeling good on a Monday night after that performance out of Red Autry's team. Giovanni Heater with you for one final segment. 315-437-7644 is the number to call if you'd like to chime in. Last chance to do so. And we go right to the phone lines immediately out of the break here. We got 2 guys queued up. First with Dave in Syracuse. Dave, how we doing?
Good, Gio. You mentioned my favorite player, and it's Nate George. He is the straw that stirs this drink, and it was so good to see old-time Syracuse showtime again tonight. We have athletes that can go up and get the ball like they use, like Derek Coleman and Keem Warwick used to, and we got a guy that can throw an accurate lob pass. So good to see that again. My one worry tonight, obviously, the three-point shooting was abysmal.
Yeah.
And we're going to be playing Binghamton every night where we can just go over and dunk over them. The shooting is going to have to get a lot better, no doubt about that. But having said that, it was just great to see highlight reel type stuff like we used to. I don't think the team last year had one single dunk that I can remember. So it is such a polar opposite team. And that William Kyle, I think he can touch the top of the backboard. He's been amazing so far. But once again, we've got to get the shooting going. Kion looked terrific. I think he's going to take quite a few of JJ's minutes this year simply because of his shooting. And JJ's more of a streaky shooter. But again, I was happy with tonight. But again, once the competition wraps up, we have to shoot the ball better.
No, I couldn't agree with you more, Dave. I think you hit the nail right on the head. The athleticism is exciting. Their ability to score the basketball is super exciting, and we appreciate you ringing in, Dave, always. Invite you back to do so all season long. But, yeah, the shooting was definitely the part that is worrisome. You end up going 4-21 from beyond the arc. That's not good, right? You go 3-9 from beyond the arc in the second half. So I guess that's a little bit better. You didn't shoot as many in the second half, but at least you made 3 of your 4 in the second half. No, but I hear you 100%. That's definitely the one thing that sticks out like a sore thumb in the box score was the inability to shoot the 3 ball. It's one game. I think for one night, we can chalk it up to one game. One of my biggest points coming into the season and in the pregame show was this team had to get better shooting the ball from beyond the arc. Last year, they were 240th in the country in three-point percentage, 308th in the country in three-pointers made per game. That was good for 13th and 16th in the ACC, respectively. So that was a department that they really had to show improvement this year. I think in one game, we can't put all the eggs in that basket, right? And you just got to see how it plays out next couple of games before they head out to Vegas. Let's see if they can start knocking down some 3 balls. But everything you said, Dave, spot on. Love the athleticism. Team can jump out of the gym. Looks different. They just look different. They look different than we've seen in a long time here in Syracuse. It's exciting stuff. We go to the phone line once again. We got Aaron in Arizona again. Aaron is turning into a fan favorite, ladies and gentlemen. The chat loves Aaron in Arizona. Aaron, how we doing?
I'm back, baby. I'm back from my curtain call. Shout out to the chat.
The chat loves you, Aaron.
Not a bad call, Dave. Not a bad call. I like the Nate George take. That 3-point shooting ain't my issue. I hung up the phone and I thought to myself, what are my issues with this team? Where I see the weaknesses would be in the rebounding and the interior defensive categories. Kyle's undersized. You go up in the ACC, these boys are going to bang you around. They're going to throw bodies at you. And the problem is, if our 3 guard is Kings or if it's Mr. Anthony there, we're going to be superiorly undersized. The wild card, the X factor might just be, hang with me here, Sadiq White.
Yeah.
All right? Now, if Sadiq White can play defense and rebound the ball, then that could be a game changer for us.
100%. No, I agree with you in the sense that it feels like on the inside that is where Syracuse could appear to be weaker against some more supreme opponents, both in the non-conference when they play Houston and Kansas and Tennessee, and then, of course, in ACC play, because they are undersized. I do feel a lot better about it seeing the athletic ability of William Kyle, because I think he's making up for a couple of inches in his ability to, you heard Dave say in the last thing he thinks he can touch the top of the backboard. I think that's probably true. So I think he's making up for a couple of inches. I hope physically he can, hold his own as far as getting shouldered on the inside, because it's not necessarily all about jumping, right? So I totally hear you there.
I don't think he's a natural shot blocker, and he only had 4 boards tonight,
Yeah.
I like his athleticism, and I like his energy. I like the fact that he can put the ball in the hole, because I can't remember last time we had a starter center who could do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, once it comes to ACC time, you need a real small forward out there who can go get them.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I love your take on Sadiq White, right? Because, let's not forget, this was the biggest recruit coming in. He was more highly touted than Cayenne, and Cayenne gets the love because who doesn't love Melo, of course. And it's deserved. It's deserved. But I agree with you that Cayenne is great, going to be good, but Sadiq is probably that X-factor guy for you. And he had only 4 points tonight, 2 of 7 from the floor, played 19 minutes. But we saw Sadiq play really, really well against Pace in that exhibition game just about a week ago.
He's just feeling it out. I don't even need him to score buckets. We got guys who can get buckets.
Yeah.
I need him on the defensive end and on the glass.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
That's what this team has been missing. We've been missing defense. We need to play some defense and rebound the ball.
Yeah. Well, I think the defense looked good. They held Binghamton to 33% from the floor, 1 of 13 from beyond the arc, only allowed 47 points. I think you can feel good about the defense, no?
The defense was fine. Binghamton had a cap on the rim in the first half. Nothing was dropping for them. But now I agree. There ain't nothing bad to say about the defense. I'm just looking down the road.
Yeah. Well, time will tell.
We'll see. Hey, Giovanni, I appreciate you giving me the time, and I'll be sure to call back now.
Always, my man. No, I look forward to it. I look forward to hearing from you next game.
Yes, sir, will do. Cuse in the house. Oh, my God.
Cuse is in the house. OMG. Thank you, Aaron.
Let's go.
All right, that's our guy, Aaron, all the way out in Arizona. If you're wondering where the accent's from, he originates from Auburn, Alabama. What a guy. Dad is a Cuse grad of, I want to say 67, he said. Chad will correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure he said 1967. So Cuse is in the house. We'll look forward to hearing from Aaron all season long. This was a fun show. Always a fun show when the Orange win. Felt like we needed it a little bit after how the football season has transpired. So this was exactly what you wanted to see if you're a Syracuse basketball fan. Dominant performance, great defense, high-flying offense. See some more three balls drop, hopefully, as time goes on. But other than that, this team looks different, looks the part. I said going into it in the pregame coverage when I picked the entire season, they were going to go 24-7, get into the tournament as like a 6 seed, somewhere around like the 5-6 seed in the ACC tournament as well. That was the feeling going into it, and this lives up to that. I don't know if like it exceeds it. They would have had to win by like 60 or something to feel different, but like I think this meets that expectation. It's one game. We have to remind everybody it's one game. But they got more games coming up, and we're going to get to continue to see how it all plays out. Next game for Syracuse basketball. Delaware State coming up on Saturday. That'll be in the Dome. Then after that, the following Saturday at Drexel in Philadelphia, the Xfinity Mobile Arena. So couple of opponents coming up each of the next Saturdays for Syracuse basketball. We got a jam-packed week around here. We got women's basketball coming up tomorrow. I'll be filling in for Tim tomorrow for women's basketball right here on 97.7, 100.1. As always, all week long you got Orange Nation from noon to 2 on Cuse Sports Talk and ESPN Syracuse. You got Drive Time with Tim Leonard evenings from 5 to 6. And we got football and basketball coming up on Saturday. So jam-packed week. Football playing Miami, basketball playing Delaware State in the Dome. Let's have a week, Cuse fans. Fun to chat with you, as always. So much thanks go to Paul McCoy behind the scenes producing the show. Magic doesn't happen without him. He's the best. He's the man. Thank you to Jordan Capozzi, as always, as well, at the Dome. He brings us the live press conference from Red Autry, helps us out with social media. Everyone knows Jordan. We love Jordan. Show doesn't happen without those guys, so I have so much appreciation for those two, always doing a great job and helping me out a ton. Final thanks to you, Cuse fans. Fun win. 85-47. One more time. The final score inside the Dome. Saying so long and good night for now, though. I'm Giovanni Heater, and we'll talk to you next time on Cuse Sports Talk and ESPN Syracuse.